Oh, it looks like a gloomy day out there today. Look at that. There's little Jaxie. No, there was snow on the ground, but it's all melted. There is nobody out here at the state park. Whoa, you want to talk about the best time to go camping? This be it. Oh, it's so good to see you all here again. Well, today we are going to talk about everything that has to do with staying warm in your van during these winter and colder parts of the season, especially if you live up north here where it gets like super cold. So we're going to talk about what I use for a heat source and what I do with my van, so that way I stay comfy and warm in that little thing right there, my little home. So stick with me, because I might have some of the answers that'll help you stay warm in your van. Let's go over here real quick. Let's take a look at the river. Little Jax, he's all excited. He's ready to roll. Come on, buddy. Ooh, that river is flowing fast. Holy Moses, that river is cranking. Now I realize, during this time of the year, and especially with winter coming, there's not a whole lot of color. But I'll tell you what, I'm beginning to enjoy this more and more and more. There is still a lot of beauty to be enjoyed out here during, well, this time of the season. I mean, being out in nature does a whole lot for your mind. It does a whole lot for your mental attitude on how you deal with things in your daily life. I'm beginning to find the good in what was bad. And that's really important. Yeah, look at little Jax. He always finds the good. Yeah, he's getting ready to go for his run. He's doing his stretching. Lately with this little guy, I've had to do a whole lot more exercising because he requires a tremendous amount of effort to deplete his energy. Being a little Australian Shepherd, he definitely needs to get out and go for his walks. And that's okay, because that gets me out to go do exercising too. He's got me walking at a very fast pace and occasionally even jogging. So that's going to help out a whole bunch for this over the winter. Good morning. Oh, it's a little chilly out here today. It was a whole lot nicer tucked into bed. But anyway, here we are. Well, we're out in the beauty of nature. And today I just want to talk a little bit about staying warm in your van. There just seems to be this little misnomer about how hard people are making it sound like. And let me tell you what, last year I was in the van at 30 below zero. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. 30 below zero. It was freezing. And I stayed perfectly warm. And I'm gonna show you today just exactly how I did it. So let's go ahead, let's go inside the van, get my nice warm coffee. Let's go back inside the van and I'll show you exactly how I do it in my van. Jax, you want a cookie? You want a cookie? Oh, he likes his cookie. You wanna say hi to everybody? You can put your ear down. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show you what I do to help keep my van warm during the winter time. Now, you probably already know a bunch of these tips, but for those that are just starting out, some of these, well, might come in handy. And stay tuned, because at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you my final update on the Wave 3 heater. After a little over a year worth of usage, I'm gonna tell you what I think about it, because you're gonna wanna hear what I gotta say. Now, one of the first things that you can do, make sure you got yourself a nice warm blanket. As you can see, I've got a nice blanket underneath here. I've got a throw here. And then I have another blanket down here that I can pull over me if I need it, if it gets too cold, which usually isn't a problem. Mostly at night, I don't even sleep with the heat on. As you can see, I got flannel sheets on. Oh, that helps out a whole bunch. Okay, so back here in the back of the van, so if I pull that apart, as you can see, I got that poly ISO in the windows back there. If I move that aside, there's a 1/2 inch right here, and then I have a 1-inch piece of poly ISO right here that fits over top of that. And I use the magnets to keep that so that way it keeps it tucked up to the window. You might have a better way of doing it, Velcro, whatever. You can do whatever you want. In the back, I've got curtains that are pulled across the back of the van, and it goes all the way to the floor, so it blocks off any cold that's coming in through that door and doesn't get into the interior of the van. In my opinion, or at least for what I do, that's really important. Having that curtain back there is awesome. And then up here from my vent, that piece right back there, that's a piece of that polyboard insulation, and that just fits up here in the vent. There, I'll show you. So I just shove that up there. If it's too cold or at night when I'm sleeping, throw that up there, boom, done. And I'm using an inch thick poly board. And that's what I use to put up here in the vent. I just cut it a little bit oversized so that way it fits up in there all nice and snug. All right, over here, when it comes to my door, what I do is down here on the floorboard is I'll take a towel and I put it along that floorboard there at the door. And that stops all that cold air from coming in from the bottom, because that is open at the bottom a little bit. And then if it gets too cold, then I'll take something and I'll put something heavier like my coat or another blanket, and I'll set it in this whole doorstep area right here. And it stops that cold from emanating up from the floorboard. You know, and that's really imperative. Don't forget to do that, because that area lets in a lot of cold air. Okay, when it comes to trying to keep your van warm, definitely putting some form of insulation up in your windows and covering your windows helps out tremendously. So what I do for my windows, I use that polyiso insulation. It's just a 1/2 inch thick insulation, and on the back side I painted it black. That way it looks like my window is tinted and blacked out on the outside. And all I do is I took and I cut it out to fit in my window and just stick it in there. And then I take a magnet and I put one up top and then I put some at the bottom, and that holds it in place just exactly where I need it to be. And then what I do on top of it, I have a curtain and I pull that across. Now if you don't have these are ceramic magnets. These little suckers, I mean, they are like, they're like super magnets. You know, I picked these up at Harbor Freight for like $1 for 2 of them. You know, so they're fairly inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon too. I'll leave a link down below where you can find them. But anyway, these magnets work great. And I use these for a lot of things in the van. Okay, as I was saying, so I have a curtain here. Pull the curtain shut, put the magnets up, and now it's closed off my entire door area. So that blocks all that cold back from behind there. Okay, up in the front, what I have is I have that sun guard reflective in the front window, and I have the polyiso in the driver's side window and in the passenger side window. And then what I do is I just take a blanket and I stuff it up underneath the trim, and I go up to the front trim, and then it drops all the way down to the floor, which then blocks out all the cool air coming through the door. So I kind of create a barrier between the door and the inside cab. Up front, I do the same thing. I take a blanket, I stuff it along the visors up here, and then I tuck it down onto the dash. And of course, the same thing over here on the passenger side. So that way it kind of like blocks off everything inside my van. It creates like a insulated barrier all the way through the front cab. Now I'll tell you what, I didn't block off the cab like that all last year. This is going to be the first time that I've actually done this. And so far, I gotta tell you what, it has gotten pretty cold here and it has worked beautifully. Now, what I did do last winter when it got really cold, I have blackout curtains that go between the cab and the back end here, and I still have them up there. And I just pull those curtains shut, and that helps keep the cold air in front and allows the hot air, the warm air, to stay in the back. So that's kind of what I did for the front end. That's how I keep the cold air out and I keep the warm air in. All right, here is the long-awaited review that I have about the Wave 3 heater. This little freaking heater, this has got to be one of the best investments that I've made for the van. I mean, this thing, I'm telling you right now, even with all the other products that they have out there, and I've researched most of them, I gotta tell you what, this product outweighs them all, both in price, convenience, ease, and it just overall does a doggone job. And I mean, it does it good. This little bad boy right here will keep you warm. Oh, I can't say it enough, beyond your comprehension. And I'll post a link up here somewhere to my video about the Wave 3 heater. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. After a year of using this thing, it runs like it's brand new. Here, I'll turn off the light so you can see it. You can see it glowing in there. That heat that comes off there, oh, it's hot. Yeah, this is cranking out heat right now. For the Wave 3, this baby has got both thumbs up. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't make any money from Camp Coal, so I'm not here trying to give a pitch for the Wave 3. I'm just telling you what actually works. And I mean, it has worked in some pretty doggone cold temperatures too. Go by what the manufacturers say. You don't want to have anything in front of this here, because this is like super, super hot. And always remember that you want to be safe. I keep my little roof vent fan up there. I kind of crack that a little bit for fresh air. air, but I also have a carbon monoxide detector. And don't forget to do that. If you put anything propane in your van, you buy a carbon monoxide tester and you put it in your van or your RV or whatever you're living in that you have a propane source in there, because your life depends on that. You can't smell that gas, you won't know what's happening, and if things go wrong, it's going to be too late for you and you're not going to get a second chance at it. So put that carbon monoxide tester in there. So anyway, this has been my update about how I stay warm in my van during the cold winter months. All right, let's head back outside. Well, that's it. That's how I stay warm in my van during the winter months. And boy, I'll tell you what, here in South Dakota, once again, it does get cold. All right, if you found this video to be helpful in any way, hey, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Hey, I'd greatly appreciate that. And also, after you hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification, because that'll let you know each and every time I release a new video. And I got a lot of really good ones that are coming up, so go ahead, click that bell notification. You'll kind of probably want to see them. All right, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to end this little video here. I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for taking your time to stop by my channel today. And until I see you all again, stay warm, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.